What is going on, Culture Junkies? Welcome back to another great episode of Culture Junkies Live. I'm your host, Kenshiro. Today, we're going to be talking about a special subject. What is it like being black in Japan when you're a foreigner and you go over there to teach? We've got a special guest in the house with us today. I'll introduce her in a minute. On the show with me today, sitting across me, is the ever dapper one, GQ. I'm not even going to bother saying anything because I know what he's going to do. I already know what he's going to do. Sitting next to me is the great Adakuji.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see you again. And stay funky fresh.
Okay, we'll work on that. And from remote, Fallen Marvel.
What is up, everybody? Hope everybody is doing all right on this glorious Wednesday evening.
Welcome back. Good to see you. And, of course, in studio with us today, I'm going to let the great Adakuji introduce this person.
In studio today is one of my favorite cousins. And, yes, she may not know that. My cousin, Randiah Camille Green. She spent many a year in the land of the rising sun, as they call it. And tonight we're going to talk about some of the experiences, many questions I always wanted to ask her, specifically because I do have an interest in Japan. I don't have an interest in living there, but, you know, as a lot of people who like video games and or anime do like or have interest in Japan. And she, you know, took the leap and not only had interest, but lived there. So we're going to talk about that today. But first, run the gamut, right?
No. First, I'm going to let her speak since you didn't let her speak.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh my goodness.
I am also very rude.
So I have to ask you, first of all, you know, just because she's in studio, you didn't have to do that whole brown nosing bit with she's my favorite cousin and stuff, right?
I said one of them.
Oh, okay.
Did
Qualifier.
you? I thought you said.
I thought she
The
said
favorite.
The favorite?
I thought that's what it said too.
I thought I said one of it. One of them.
That's how you gonna do me? That's okay.
No.
You know, it's all good.
I mean, she's coming in studio
Okay,
doing us
the
a favor.
favorite
Right.
F cousin.
The favorite what?
What?
I can't use that word anymore, but I'm going to use the first
You
letter.
can use the word female.
Female, because if, apparently if I
That's the F word that you can't
is that really
use.
what
It's
you-
female?
Yeah, they're saying that you can't say female
Man,
anymore.
come on.
According to who?
People on the internet.
Really?
Yes.
Besides us being on the
It's-
internet being the most
Because they're
important
saying,
people on the
you
internet.
females out
Other
there,
people
you
don't
can't
matter.
say female. I'm like, why can't you say female?
You can
Don't look
always
at
say
me.
female. You can always say male.
I mean,
I give you
I
permission.
do identify as female, so it's okay.
Oh, okay.
Permission
See,
granted.
there you go. Randiah, thank you for being with us
You're
today.
welcome.
Appreciate you being in studio. Just like Dado said, I can't wait to ask you a bunch of questions because we're along the same lines of interest in Japan and everything. So, but you know, let's run the gamut. So there's a lot of good things that came out, even just yesterday and even today. One of the things that's closest to my heart is that Virtua Fighter 5 is back. Like yesterday, they just announced Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown is going to be PS4 exclusive. And it's going to be on PlayStation Plus, confirmed today, for the free game for PS4 for June and July.
Okay.
I'm copying it.
Okay. So it came back for free.
Essentially.
So it's not even a new game. It's just
No,
the same
what?
old game.
Well, no, it's
remade.
remastered.
It's remastered from
It's
the ground up.
remastered.
They're using, I believe they're using
they add any characters?
the Dragon engine. That they usually
They
use.
did not add any characters. They're using the Ryuga Gotoku Yakuza engine basically to drive the game.
So essentially, it's the same game, and they polished it up.
Yes.
Put some turtle wax on it.
Essentially,
and put it on the
yes.
PlayStation for free.
Look, man, I ain't gonna have you being negative for one of my
Get
favorite
good at
fighting
the game,
games.
and
Come on, man.
we'll have a conversation.
Be good at the game, man.
Get
You
good
don't
at
want
the
me.
game.
Come on, man. Come
Your
on, man.
Akira gets
boy.
washed by my pie every single
Oh
time.
really? Oh really?
Yeah.
Both
Really?
of y'all
That's what I'm
Really?
saying.
Really?
That sounds like a challenge.
You know what? Oh no. Because
Not only
we
just
gonna be
okay,
playing.
That's fine.
We gonna be playing.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Fire.
But you want me to tell that story about you and Zach? You and Zach and that pie?
First of all, Zach doesn't count because Zach don't play fighting games no more.
Oh wow, Zach don't count. So
second-
you saying you didn't yank the memory card out when he beat you? Is that what you're saying?
That wasn't Virtua Fighter 5.
It was
first of all.
It was Virtual Fighter. Period, man. I don't want to hear that. He putting qualifiers on it. Like, you hear this?
Secondly, I'm not losing any of my gems to anybody because those things, once you lose them, you have to go back and get them. So, in other words, I did y'all a favor. So what's up to Wolverine Solid X, King Takeem, and Cosidius in the chat? How y'all doing
I love
this
how
evening?
you said he did us a favor. Whatever.
Hey, the fact that I walked in the room, sat down, and played with you.
Man,
was a
shut up,
favor.
man. I don't even want to hear it. Anyway, moving on.
boy.
Moving on. Another news that just dropped today, to my great disappointment. Aaron Taylor Johnson, who previously played Quicksilver, the one full of bullet holes made of Swiss cheese, in the MCU, is going to be playing Kraven the Hunter in Sony's Kraven the Hunter solo movie. I can't even express my disappointment.
You don't know if it's gonna be good or not.
I don't care if it's good or not.
Michael
It's
Keaton.
not going to be
Michael
Spider-Man.
Keaton was cast as Batman. People hated it. Heath Ledger was cast as Joker. People hated it.
Okay, listen, wait a minute. It's not because he's been cast as Kraven. I'm fine with that. What I don't like is Sony doing solo Spider-Man films with no Spider-Man.
So I don't care. Spider-Man ain't that important.
It's just the movie overall just feels pointless to make.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
the whole
you.
thing.
Whatever.
That's it
Craven is an
right
interesting
there.
character. Y'all are hating.
He's interesting, but not enough to make a whole solo movie around him.
Yeah, I have to.
Are you kidding me?
I have to
You
agree.
that goes around killing animals with his bare hands and wearing leopard print trench coats and whatnot. That dude is awesome.
Man, come on.
The thing is, you know me. I'm always saying, I'll tell you how I feel about it after I watch it. But sometimes I think it's like they put, I hate using cliches as well, but carts before horses. And Sony's been doing that quite a bit because we know Spider-Man is being shared between the two, but Spider-Man's MCU. All right?
Here's what you're not understanding. I need Sony to lose as much money on these properties as possible, so the Spider-Verse gets devalued, and Disney says, "Hey, we got $2 billion laying around. We'll go ahead and take all that off
You
your
have a
hands."
comment? You were
Wish
gonna say
Amazon would have did it.
I keep forgetting that's always the roundabout with
Zack
DQ
Snyder
when it
makes
comes to these movies. It's just for Sony to lose money just so they can be just easy pickings for Disney.
So Sony kind of did lose money.
Well, how y'all just gonna
today.
ask her to say something, then
No,
y'all
no.
just
I
gonna glance
asked
over?
if she did have something to say.
No,
and she said no.
I don't.
Yeah, and she did. But no, Sony kind of did lose money today with the official purchase of MGM by Amazon. $8.75 billion dollars.
Roughly. Yeah.
Billion
Yep.
dollars.
Yep, most expensive
Yeah.
purchase next to Fox.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
no more
they got
Sony
it.
James Bond distribution. It's going to be Amazon now.
It might still come out in the theaters. I'm hearing that it may not. It's not going to be going to streaming. What you call it?
No.
So-
I know that, but I'm just saying
Not if they
Amazon
want to
is
make
going to
money,
be
it won't.
right.
Exactly.
Well, no, but Amazon is going to be footing the bill. I'm just saying
Oh,
Sony won't
yeah.
be distributing it anymore.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, more than likely, Amazon.
So-
may just,
They got money.
That's
They'll be all
pocket
right.
change.
That was their.
That's
who got money?
That's pocket change.
Amazon.
Oh no, Amazon got
money.
money. Yes.
Yeah.
Sony couldn't afford to have the only other billion-dollar movie-making franchise they had walk out the door, which just happened.
Hey, again, it's all part of the
true.
plan.
It's all part of the plan. This
All
is,
part of the
that's-
plan.
This is all true. This is true. Yeah, King Team knows it. He's like,
Exactly.
GQ got the plan. All right, what was you gonna bring up for Renegade?
Well, for me, it's these things. You know me. I love video games. I buy way too many of them, and Limited Run is trying to kill me financially. Most recently, they dropped the Mega Man: The Wily Wars. You can pre-order it right now. LimitedRun.com. You guys can send me a check. I know you're not sending me anything, and I'm giving you free publicity, but whatever, because it's something I enjoy. Mega Man: The Wily Wars was a Sega Genesis Mega Man game. It was supposed to be Mega Man 1, 2, and 3, and some extra levels. And it didn't come out in the United States physically. It came out in Japan. I believe it came out in Europe. Those who are lucky who had the Sega channel back in the day were able to play it. I was not one of them. So I did play the game, EMU emulator back in the day, but the physical copy is actually being dropped. And I'm basically getting that. But not only that, they just keep releasing more and more things that I want. Double Dragon Neon, probably one of the best Double Dragon games that came out in recent memory, is getting a physical release pretty soon. Castlevania Collection, for those out there who did not buy the original cartridges back in it, or didn't hold on to them, not like me. That's coming out. And Double Dragon 4. That's just some of the things. Every week, it seems like they're dropping something I want to buy.
Well, Limited Run is your sideshow,
It
basically.
basically is.
Yeah.
I mean, they just did Scott Pilgrim not too long ago, and that was well deserved. I'm mad I still don't have my copy, but I did not order the regular version. I had not the super special one because I wasn't paying that much for it. I got the mid-range special one.
I ordered the special one. Here's my question to you, real quick. Did you get your physical copy of Streets Race 4 yet?
Yes.
From them?
Yeah, I did.
Now, didn't they just add stuff to that?
That's a little thing that is irritating because, I was told that, or something that I read, that when it comes to the physical copies of their games, all the DLC is supposed to be on the cart. That was their whole thing.
Right.
Now, I have to go back and look and see if that is an official, because Limited Run also releases things that aren't Limited Run published. They sell it.
I think in that case, I think it's just Sega went behind their backs. So it was like, oh yeah, we got more stuff because this game, again, the game did money. So I mean, it's, they're gonna make some DLC.
No, I think for that, like, if I remember correctly, and I was talking to my brother about that, like, I don't think Sega even had to touch Streets of Rage 4.
Yeah, I don't think
like,
they did.
Well, whoever made it is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So Sega
Yeah, it was the OG developers though, from what I've seen, but yeah, Sega didn't even have nothing to do with it.
Fair enough.
Which probably is their benefit. So
Cream, thank you for the
Cream,
500
for the
bits.
500 bits.
Also, what's going on? It's
Thank
Spotty
you,
97 and Kiba TV. Hello to both of you fine folks joining the stream.
So,
yes.
with all of that now out of the way, let's get to the nitty gritty, the really big stuff, the stuff that we really want to talk about. We want to know more about Randiah's odyssey, essentially, in going to Japan. So, first of all, the first question I want to ask, okay, what drove you to want to go to Japan in the first place?
I mean, to be honest, and this is going to be like a super existential answer, but I just was not happy with my life at the time. So I was working at a law firm and I was making a shit ton of money, but I just wasn't happy. Like, I wasn't doing anything that was fulfilling with my life. And, like, I studied Japanese when I was in high school and college, and I had the opportunity then to go to teach English, but I just never did because I was fucking scared, And I just came to a point in my life where I was like, why am I not going to do the things that I want to do? Like, there's no reason not to.
Okay.
So that was it.
Okay. Now, see, never let it be said that money is the end-all, be-all of everything.
No,
right,
absolutely not.
I can't agree with that, but I'm.
I knew he was going to say that. I hated him. I knew he was going to say that.
That's because I'm a very materialistic person.
Yeah,
so,
I knew he was gonna say that.
It's not really a knock on anybody that finds their way without it, but I'm very greedy and materialistic as a person. So
Yeah.
It does help buy a lot of delicious food.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, you definitely need it to live, of course, but it's not the most important thing.
Yeah. Okay. So
to be continued. To be continued.
Don't say it. All right. So
All right.
Anyways.
So
So it drove you to want to try and fulfill your life in some meaningful way.
yeah.
How did you get there? Like what was the journey? What led you across the sea basically to get you to Japan?
I
How'd you get
mean,
there?
really, like I said, like I already had it like an interest in Japan,
Right.
obviously from like liking anime and video games from when I was a kid, and then being like, I studied this language that I'm not fucking using
Right.
at all. It was kind of a waste of time if I wasn't gonna use it. And then, to be honest, like, Japan is one of the easiest countries to get a visa for if you're American and you have a college degree. So I was like, okay, where am I gonna go? Japan was just the obvious answer,
Right.
basically.
Okay.
So I found that there's like several programs you can apply for to teach English. As long as you have a college degree, you're pretty much guaranteed to get a job. Like, it's that easy.
I had heard that.
It's
I had
true,
heard that, honestly.
literally.
I had heard that. Okay, so you
Yeah.
sought out being a teacher, going to Japan.
Yeah.
Not trying to date you, but how long ago essentially was this when you went?
So that was like almost 5 years ago
Okay.
now. And
Alright.
like I just got back to the States in November
Okay.
of last year. So
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Still recent.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Fairly recent.
5 years ago, that was what 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
2016. Leave America. Go to Japan. Tell us what was like your first experience, kind of like.
I mean,
getting
like, I literally can like imagine the moment that I stepped off the plane. I was in Nagoya, and I had like 3 huge fucking suitcases, like looking like an absolute tourist, and everyone just looking like,
Who's this black chick getting
"What
off
are
this
you
plane?"
doing? Like, can I help
Okay.
you? You know." So I got to like the train station, and this old lady was just like, "Clearly, you don't know what you're doing," and she's like, "Can I help you? Like, what? Obviously, you need some help." So she like helped me out with my bags, and then like
was nice.
helped me get into a taxi.
Uh-huh.
And I literally like got in the hotel. It was like my teacher training, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do. So I'm gonna just stay in this hotel room until morning.
Okay.
Get like a cup ramen from the vending machine downstairs,
Uh-huh.
and just like, I'll figure it out tomorrow because I'm so overwhelmed.
So essentially, like when you went there, when you were getting in the plane, I'm sure you felt like this bundle of nerves. You were excited. You were like had all this vision of it's always going to be great, and then it quickly just eked right on out.
Yeah, like you land there and you realize that you can only like understand 25% of what is being said at any point in time, and that you can't read anything, and you're just like, oh shit, like what did I just actually do?
Real quick though, so okay, how many? Because again, we've all done some language in high school. How many years of Japanese did you take?
So I took like 3 years total. So 2 years in high school, a year in college.
Gotcha.
But so I guess I probably should have said this. There was like 4 years between the time that I finished school and actually went to Japan. So it was like 4 years of not using any Japanese.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't like I just studied and like now I'm in Japan to practice.
So it wasn't like fully fresh in your head or anything like
It's
that.
like, oh boy,
Not at all.
somebody said something to you, and you're just like, wait.
Yeah,
a
you're
minute,
just like, wait, hold on, wait.
Like slow down.
Like, say it again, but slower. And they're just like, okay, fuck off. Like, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. Just, never mind.
Okay.
Basically.
Also, I noticed
Yeah,
you
right.
said so you left in 2016, huh?
Yes.
And came back just November.
you
You
missed all
just
of
dodged
it.
all them bullets, huh?
So she missed
She
all
dodged
of that
all of
45.
that. She was just
And
like,
she said, so as soon as Biden gets elected, she's like, okay, it's safe to come back home.
I was
Right.
like, okay, this is my chance.
Like,
Peace out. All right.
see,
no,
all y'all,
She did it right. She did
all
it
y'all
right.
talking about I'm gonna move to Canada. She actually,
Oh
she
my
left. She's like, I'm out.
She's like, I'm out of here.
Like, man.
Did it right.
Yeah, she's smart. She did it. She
No,
was like,
that was
I'm out of
completely
here.
coincidental.
Oh no, I got you. I
But, like-
just thought it was funny. As soon as you said it, I'm like, dang, she
like,
just. Who's getting in office? I'm out.
Wait, you know what? Follow up for that.
It did work
What
out
month
that
was it that you left?
Okay, so it was, when was that? It was August. So it was like right before.
Right before everything went
I mean,
down.
damn.
Before
You
everything
literally
was-
saw that. She was like,
So-
is that a bunch of writing on the wall? I gotta go.
I was like, my spirit is telling me
mean,
everything's
damn.
about to be fucked up, so
Right.
it's time to go.
She saw it coming. Like,
Wow.
'cause, I mean, 45 was already acting a nut all over the summer,
Lord.
and she was like, "Shit, I already see what's about.
I mean,
I'm out of here.
That's funny.
Book my ticket."
Marcus
All right.
864, how you doing?
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to
Appreciate
the
you.
show. Very good evening, Sir Hungwell. Good to see you. Spotty, good to see you. Maze, good to see you as well.
Somebody announced himself as your child.
Yeah, no, Kiba, I'm gonna need you to behave yourself.
Oh
I'm
my!
gonna
Baby
need you to
daddy
behave yourself.
Ken brought me
I'm
here.
gonna need you to behave
Christ.
yourself.
Right.
He's
Kiba,
just my
man.
baby daddy.
Shut up, man. Shut up. Anyway,
Oh,
all right.
God.
So, how long did it take you to get settled, and what was kind of like the first things you
I mean, it
ended
took
up doing?
a long fucking time. So I spent a week in Nagoya doing like training for work, and then I moved to Mie, which is like complete countryside.
Okay.
It's like a fishing town. There's
Wow.
no one. There's like rice fields, some dudes fishing, and that's about it.
Wow.
So it was like, even there, I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? And even like, I lived there for a year and a half, and I felt like at the end of that year and a half that I was finally finding my footing.
Oh wow.
And then I like moved to Yokohama because I
Okay.
was like, I need to be in a big city where
Right.
there's actually
People.
people and not
Yeah.
just fish.
Lots of
So-
fish.
Okay, so you taught in Japan, you taught English.
Yeah.
What was the age groups that you were like handling?
Yeah. So at first I was teaching elementary school and then middle school.
Okay.
And then I started teaching, using that in quotes because not really teaching, kindergarten students.
Okay.
Which is basically just like going to play with them
Okay.
in English.
Okay.
And them not knowing what the fuck I'm saying.
Right. So, describe some of those experiences of teaching young Japanese children. Like, what was it like? What kind of horror stories do you have?
Like, oh, the kids like really, really liked my butt.
Okay, wait.
and it
wait,
was like-
wait.
I know, like,
Alright.
let me tell you, yes, and I'm talking about like girls and boys, like all of them. They were obsessed.
No boundaries whatsoever.
No boundaries at all. It was just like walking down the hallway, bam, slap on the ass, like.
Like, where
the
the
heck
heck
do
do you learn that?
What
This
kind of shit is
5-year-old
that?
child just sexually assault me.
Right.
Like, what is this real life? So yeah.
Like, dog, like
That was the
even
thing.
American kids ain't that damn brazen.
No, they.
Amara, thank you for the
What?
100
Thank you,
bits.
Amara. I
Appreciate it.
Like, okay, so
Yeah, it was a thing. Like you obviously all know like Concho.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that shit is real. I seen it happen with like a broomstick in a kid's butt one time, and I was just like,
Oh, goodness.
how do you not like if that were to happen with me? I think I'd be fighting. I was like, how do you?
Yeah,
Right.
that'd be an instant fight.
Right. So like, I'm sure
Yeah.
the first couple of times it kind of was like, what? So did you ever react? Did you ever kind of
the
scold
first
them?
couple of times, you're just in shock, right? And you just like freeze, and then like after that, it's just like, I will fucking kill you if you do that again, like, you know. But at first, it was like, yeah, I'm nervous, like. Is this okay over here? Like, is this how y'all roll? Is this like culturally all right?
So, with that being said, seeing how you're a teacher, I know sometimes you make bonds with kids when you're teaching them. Did you have that feeling with any of the kids?
Yeah, I did. So it was like after I like built up a rapport and a bond with the kids, I could be like, listen, don't do like good and damn well that you're not supposed to be doing that, and they would just be like, okay, you're right.
Okay.
And then they started to have like some kind of respect.
Okay.
But really, it's like if you're a foreigner and you're going there to teach, like you're literally just a clown. Like you are the entertainment. Like look at this non-Japanese person. Oh my God, they're so weird and cool. So you don't really. Like, you're not even respected as a human being, let alone a teacher.
That's essentially how you felt. Like, were you having like people stare at you in the street like you were almost like a sideshow?
I mean, I literally had people like touch my hair. Like I would go to the convenience
I've
store
heard
like,
that.
Literally, like the staff, I would be trying to buy something and they'd just like reach out and touch it, and I'm just like,
So hey.
the fuck are you doing?
Like no boundaries for adults either. Like seriously.
At all. But that's
Okay.
what I'm saying. It was. I was like, okay, I don't think this is like cultural because Japanese people are not like touchy-feely with each other.
Yeah.
It's that you're not Japanese, so they just see you as like other, so
are
they
you
can
real?
do whatever.
So
They're just like
you're open. It's open season on all of the people that aren't
human
Japanese,
being?
huh?
What like?
So then that brings up the question about what is it like being in the countryside when there is nothing to do? Like what was a typical day like for you?
So at first it was like boring as fuck, obviously, but I will say that like I had a better sense of community because everyone knows everyone.
Right.
So I would go to the store and someone would be like, "Oh, like you teach my kid," and I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Oh, do you need something? Like, do you need me to buy you something? Are you okay? Like, have you eaten? Do you need dinner? Like, whatever."
Okay.
You know?
So they're willing really to take care of you type
Yeah.
thing. Okay.
Yeah,
I
but
like that.
again,
That's
that
cool.
was like after I was there for a while.
Okay.
'Cause at
Pretty
first-
much after they got used to you.
Yeah. At
Okay.
first they were just like, "Who the fuck is this?" And they were like, "Oh, like you're teaching my children. Like, let me have your back and like look out for you."
Oh, that's cool.
So-
I like that.
Could
That's
also
really cool.
be, not repercussions. What is the word I'm thinking of? Could be payback for their child slapping you on your butt. It made you feel a little guilty.
That is true.
Like, that's got to be her. That's the only other
The only other black person would be good. Or
Oh
something like
my
that.
God.
I would
Yeah,
imagine
period.
that
Okay.
my child did say, okay, I'll
Yeah.
hook her up today. That's kind of messed
I'm
up.
sorry for those butt slaps. Here's some
Right.
dinner.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Could
So
be.
King Takeem said his eldest niece just got back from Japan 2 years ago. Some
Yeah,
of the same
same
stories.
story.
Story. Yeah,
Okay.
it's real, man.
So even in the countryside or even in the city, did you meet any other kind of black people that were living in Japan or because
So not until I moved to Tokyo.
okay, what was that like?
So Tokyo is like, I have such a love-hate relationship with it. Tokyo is a place where you can find like anything that you can dream of. It exists in Tokyo. But at the same time, like there's so many fucking people. It's crowded all the time. Like people who live in Tokyo have this kind of attitude that they're better than everyone else.
Sounds like New York.
So it's literally like
Yeah.
people make that comparison all the time, and it's fucking true. Everyone's just like looking at you like, "What the fuck are you doing here?"
Yeah.
Like I'm better than you, basically, And you're like, have you seen those videos where they're cramming people on the train?
Yeah.
And like that shit
Yeah.
is real. That
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
every morning going to work in
Yeah.
Tokyo.
I can
That's-
imagine.
I don't think
Yeah.
I could do that. I mean,
Hell.
I don't have a problem with being in tight spaces.
Not,
but
neither
it's just
do
like,
I, but
I mean,
still.
but
But it's
that-
like
I think I
people
can
that
do
are
that.
like pushing on you and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
I
mean-
think I do. Like especially now. Like I can't deal with strange people being that close to me. That's too much.
Yeah.
That's too much for me.
Yeah. I mean,
thankfully-
I literally had like people like on my ass.
Wow.
And like you turn around, but it's like, what can you do? Like
Can't do
there's
nothing.
no space. So
like, bro, put that boner away.
it's like,
Put it away.
Right.
excuse
You
me,
better put
sir,
that away.
can you
Right.
please?
Right.
Well,
Like-
one of the advantages of being tall. And
Right.
I'm sure there's some tall Japanese men, but
Oh yeah.
I'm taller than the average person. over
Right.
there, so I'll be all right.
So moving to Tokyo and stuff like that, meeting black people that you kind of that already lived in Japan. Did you kind of make relationships with them too, or?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I mean, you basically bond from having a common experience,
Okay.
like having people look at you weird or like touch your hair, or like when you speak Japanese, them being like, oh, like why do you know Japanese? Like, I fucking live here. Like, is this not Japan? What kind of
Right.
question is that? You know?
Wow.
So you definitely like bond with other people who are kind of there for the same reason, because they're like, I need to fucking do something else with my life, and
Right.
they just sort of ended up there too.
Okay.
But
I feel like I'm answering all the questions, guys. Y'all need to.
No, I've been asking questions, and
No,
I've been
no.
throwing in
Yeah.
comments here
you've been
and there.
throwing shade in.
That's part of that's
his
who
tool
I
and trade.
right.
Come on now.
I haven't thrown all shade. I've thrown some good questions at you.
Well,
That's
if you want a big question, what did you do for fun in the countryside? Did they have like the bar that everybody went to? Were there a bar, restaurants, like?
Okay, so in the place that I lived, there was literally a Chinese restaurant that closed at 9 p.m.
Wait, what?
A Chinese restaurant.
Chinese
Yeah,
restaurant
a
in
Chinese
Japan.
restaurant.
not?
that
I just think
closed
it's
at
funny.
9 p.m.
I
It
do too.
works.
I
But
feel the
that-
same way. You know,
No, that's the point.
There
Like
are-
that was
yeah.
the place to hang out.
That was it.
That was like
that
where
was the
all
place to hang out. The
drunks
Chinese
met.
restaurant
Yes.
in Japan.
Interesting.
Chinese
That's so
restaurant.
interesting.
Go and like get wasted at the Chinese restaurant until 9 o'clock, and then you gotta go home and go to bed.
Wow.
That's it.
Wait. So you can stay up till 9.
Yes.
Okay.
Basically,
And there's
it's
nothing
the
else to do.
countryside. There's
No, and it's fine.
They
It
shut
just
down at 9
it
o'clock.
just reminds me of Rush Hour when Don Cheeto owned that Chinese restaurant on Crenshaw.
Yeah.
It just seems odd.
Yeah.
In Japan,
Yeah.
there's a Chinese restaurant that everybody hangs out at. It sounds funny, but it works though. It's almost like it sounds
does
like the
sound
beginning of a sitcom.
Yeah.
It sounds like this is a sitcom that needs
I
to be made.
mean-
But it's awesome though. I'm gonna find that restaurant when I go.
It burned down, unfortunately.
All right.
Oh, it burned down.
Nobody.
Oh, no.
They don't have any place.
Now they don't have any place to go. Like,
Oh.
yeah.
And okay, so like, you move from there. And
Yeah.
Of course, everything is completely different. You're in the big city where you got clubs, bars, people. What was your favorite activity once you got there?
Karaoke,
Yeah.
of course. Because you could like rent a box with like 5 people and stay until like 3 a.m. and it's cheap as hell. Like you bring your own drinks. Well, you're not supposed to, but you do. And you just sing
Sing and
terribly all night. It's really fun.
Sing and drink all night.
Sing and drink.
That
all
doesn't sound
night.
bad. Don't sound bad. Well,
But
talking
you-
about
Yeah.
I assume that includes alcohol, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
She said you're not supposed to bring your own drinks, but they brought them.
Yeah, we
Sure
did.
they
And
do.
like
Yeah.
they sell drinks that you can buy there, but it's like they're too expensive. So you just go to like the
Like
convenience
always,
store
yeah.
and spend like 100 yen, which is like $1, and like bring your own stuff. Everyone does it. It's fine.
Are the rooms really as cramped and kind of like compact as?
Yes.
As really?
Yes. So
wow.
my apartment in Tokyo was like not much bigger than this room
oh boy.
that we're in, and it was like
I've
$600
heard about
a
that.
month. That's it's true.
Very expensive.
Very, very
And it's
true.
very expensive.
Oh
yeah, it's
Goes
very
back-
expensive
goes
and
back
like
to that money thing.
literally like
I'm just saying, yeah.
okay, you may have a point there. Like if you want to fucking live in Tokyo, yes, you
Yeah.
need money for sure.
Okay.
But it was like, if I was like sitting on the toilet, the shower head is like right here, like next to my face. Like that's
Wow.
how small it is.
But
Wow.
that's basically because you're mostly taller than typical people that go there. You know.
Probably. Yeah.
All right. Questions for the guests. We'll definitely have the AMA during the Power is Yours, so you guys just hold your questions. Make sure you ask them then. The culture shock aspect.
Mm-hmm.
When did that start to set in? Because it sets in differently for some people. Sometimes it happens like within days. Others it happens maybe within a week
Yeah.
or two.
I think it set in like when my company drove me to my apartment and they were like, okay, have a good life. And I was like,
Wait, what?
Wow. They were like, hey, get the hell
I
out the
mean,
car.
have a good life.
Right.
Like,
Wow.
what? I had like no internet, no cell phone, like nothing.
They didn't even set you
but a
up.
car. They set me up with a car because I'm in the countryside
Wait.
and there's no train. They were like, here's a car.
Okay, time out.
Good luck.
Because the cars.
I mean, he's trying to do the Zach Morris over here.
Right.
Like, you
so
know,
it's not time out for everything. Time out. No, it's
Okay.
okay. So
Yes.
like,
Yes.
As some people may or not know, over here in the United States, we drive on the right because the right side is the best side.
Right.
And
Is that why? Anyway,
yeah,
sorry. Go ahead.
we drive on the right. And they drive on the left over there.
Yes.
So what was that like? They just give you a car. You just gotta hop in the car, and you're just like, okay, figure this out.
Basically, yeah. I mean, I was in the countryside. There's no one but like some old fucking lady. So it wasn't like there's a high possibility for a car accident or something.
All right.
And somehow, I don't fucking know how, but I managed to like always stay on the left side of the road.
Yeah, that just seems like it'd be
Like-
instinct. You're just trying to veer back. Like, I'm on the wrong side of the road.
Only
it was like
only people that can do it is mail drivers, man. Like mail truck drivers, they're already used to it. But okay,
wasn't that hard for me.
oh no, I get you.
But that was the culture shock.
good
Just
thing
like,
it's not a
what
stick.
the fuck do I do now with just like a car and nothing else?
Okay, so now that actually makes me wonder. Okay, so after that, like, how long did it take to get back to the usual stuff you're used to from over here, like cell phone and internet and all that stuff set up?
I feel like I went like almost a month with like no internet and no cell phone.
Damn,
Because I had to like,
2016?
yeah, right? I had to
Wow.
like call someone from my company, which was like not located there. And they would be like, all right, well, we'll come help you when we're free.
When we're free.
Wow. Okay.
I'm like, you get yourself over here right now.
Right, exactly. It was like, okay, like, what are you doing at this
free.
exact moment? Because we're talking right now.
How about now?
Right.
Shit. Like, yeah.
When
That's
we're
crazy.
free.
Yeah.
What?
So that was pretty wild. So I just spent those first couple weeks just like driving around and trying to like find stuff and
Yeah.
like figuring out what the fuck I was gonna eat at the convenience store. Like, okay, this is kind of okay.
Wow.
That's one of the things I can say, though. Traveling in Japan, the convenience stores, at least where I was at,
yeah.
are amazing.
No, that like kept me alive.
Yeah,
honestly.
top notch.
Because I was like, what the fuck am I gonna eat? I don't know what I'm doing. Just go buy a rice ball at the convenience store. Like it was, yeah. I mean, is that funny? Like it's true.
Okay. So what are the main differences between the convenience stores? I got to hear this.
Okay, so well, you can answer this fucking question because you've been in Japan.
It's
like,
just the food
like-
is like way better.
it's
like,
real food.
Yeah, you're not
That's
eating
the
the food at a
difference.
convenience store
Isn't
here.
there
Like
like that prepackaged, ham cheese sandwich that you
No. It's like restaurant quality food.
What? At a
100%.
For
convenience
real.
store?
Yes,
100%.
man.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's interesting.
great. One of the things that did for me at least. Did you ever try the noodle bread? It was like
Oh, the like yakisoba in
yeah,
a fucking
yakisoba
in
bun.
a bun. So it's like a sub with noodles.
Yeah,
in it.
with noodle. That shit is
It's fucking
nasty.
delicious. I like it. I thought it was delicious.
Sounds interesting.
I thought it was good. It didn't make sense to
No.
me though because like they take whatever yakisoba I think is buckwheat noodles.
Yeah.
And-
Oh, yeah.
which is a grain.
Soba. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
they
put
put
it
noodles,
in some
yeah.
fucking bread. It's like,
So they pimped your bread. They put some more bread inside your bread.
Yeah.
So you can eat your- Okay, hold on.
yeah, basically.
Now you said noodles. Are they like actually noodles, like wet noodles?
Like-
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
they
they were
were
like.
So they were
it's not like
soft.
soupy noodles, but
Oh, I was about to
soft.
say. I
So
was
they were
I was just wondering. I'm like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're definitely soft.
all right.
Okay.
Yeah, and the karaage, which is like
King
Yeah.
to
the
King.
fried chicken.
Fried
Oh
chicken,
yeah,
karaage,
that's
yeah.
the shit. Oh,
King,
so
King to King
good.
brought up quick trip bento.
Gotta have that.
Oh
quick trip
yeah. Gotta get that bento box with like the rice balls, the vegetables. Like
Okay.
I can't even describe. It's just like so ornate.
So what was like your go-to?
My go-to was karaage,
it was
actually,
karaage?
Japanese fried
Okay,
chicken, or
okay.
like nikuman. It's like a pork bun.
I've heard so much that
It's like
that,
$1.
I've heard that
so
karaage
good.
is almost like crack over there.
Dude,
Like,
it's
so good.
Oh my
Hey.
god, it's so good.
All right.
I ate that shit like almost every day. For a
Okay,
long
so
time.
here's my question.
Yes.
What was your first true anime style experience? And the reason I say that is a lot of anime fans have that thought of, okay, I'm playing, like, let's say Yakuza, for example. Obviously, it's not called Yakuza over there, but Yakuza, the game, or watching this particular anime that's, like, supposed to be hyper-realistic.
Yeah.
Like, what was your first moment of, like, okay, translating from something I've seen on screen to actually being there?
Basically, a trope come to life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is kind of random. So it was the like sounds that they play when you cross the street, and it made me think of like Boogie Pop Phantom, and like there's this little melody that they play. It's like do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I thought they like made it up for the game for people like to use the crosswalks, and then I heard it and I was like, that fucking Boogie Pop Phantom. What is going on here?
Okay.
That's okay. That's funny.
So-
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was one of the things I did. Like when Driver LA came out or whatever, and I literally was like, when I go to California, I'm going to walk some of these same streets. So I always thought that was interesting when games, are truly like true to the actual locale. So I was just wondering.
So speaking of that, this is a good one. Good follow-up questions. Is radio calisthenics really a thing over there?
Yes.
Radio calisthenics?
Yeah, it's like early morning fucking
Like literally
exercise that
wake
they
you
play
up.
on the radio
Yes.
at like 6 a.m. But that like only old people do it.
Oh.
Oh,
so
okay.
like,
I'm glad you said
like,
that.
Only
So like
okay.
morning
It's a
yoga or
thing.
something.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's like on the radio and they're just like 1, 2, and they're doing like jumping jacks and cardio and shit. But only old people do that.
Okay.
So one
Alright.
reason that I know it's a thing is because I lived in a town with a bunch of old people,
Right.
and I heard it like,
What
the fuck is
Like, what
that?
the-
Like,
what-
oh, that's the radio exercise.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
No,
So-
that's really interesting. Go ahead, Kyle.
So I'm curious as far as, and someone else brought in chat, and I don't want to steal your thunder over there,
But
but
you are.
I am. Yeah, I am. Sorry,
good.
but weather patterns between over there and over here, like
Ooh.
between the summers, the
a
spring,
good
fall,
one,
That's a
actually.
good question. Yeah.
Like-
Yeah.
how was that like in contrast to probably over here in the Midwest?
I mean, I would say the worst thing is the summer because it's really really humid. So it's like you walk outside and you feel like you're walking through fucking soup. Like it's seriously, it's terrible.
I can't stand it.
So imagine that, and then
can't
being
stand
like
humid
on a
weather.
train with
Oh.
like a million other people who
Oh,
are like
man.
sweaty
I
and
can't-
stinky.
Yeah,
like
I
it's
can't stand humid weather. Oh man.
the fucking summer is like hell. And every time someone visited me in the summer, they were just like, "Why didn't you fucking tell me that I was gonna die?" Like it's
So it's like
really
Florida?
really bad. It's worse. than
Worse?
Worse than Florida?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
no.
You gotta remember,
see,
it's
worse
it's.
than-
A,
I mean,
No,
that's
it's
an
an island.
island.
It's a true
Japan is an
island.
island,
But,
so
you know,
yeah.
Florida's a peninsula, so it's got
Yeah,
a lot
but
of
it's-
water.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
It's worse.
I can understand what you're saying because I've been in the Philippines in the summer, so and that's closer to the
Yeah,
equator.
I've heard
And
y'all talk about
that's
Philippines in summer.
that's the main part of it.
I got sunburn. Now, granted, I'm not the darkest person in the room,
Right.
and that was the first time.
Oh, yeah, no, black people can get
Oh
sunburned.
no, most
Yeah.
definitely, but
Yeah.
it takes a
Absolutely.
lot longer.
It does.
It does.
It does.
Because I almost got it in
does.
Panama. I was
Yeah.
scared. I was like, what's
You
happening?
scared?
What's going on? I thought I was better than this.
Right.
How the heck?
You
I was out in the
scared.
sun way
I
too long
mean-
out there. But Panama's, like you said,
Yeah.
closer to the equator. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I got to ask.
Fallen, you had something else.
Yeah, you
It
did.
sound like.
Go ahead, man. Did you have something else?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Like, I think honestly,
I
like
definitely
overall, like
got
the
something.
Yeah,
yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's time for the juicy bits.
Yeah, there you go.
Juicy
Oh,
bits.
Lord.
No.
What
yes.
does that mean?
No, it's simple. All right, you were over there for 5 years.
Mhm.
Yeah, she knows it. Like she bracing already. She bracing already.
Okay.
What was dating like over in Japan?
I mean, in short, like it sucked.
Really?
Yeah, because like, and I hate to generalize, but it's just kind of fucking true. Like, a lot of Japanese guys, they just don't know what to do with a woman in general, let alone like a foreign woman.
Damn.
Okay.
Wow.
Like, they're not really like socialized together, men and women. So it's just like, guys have like their thing with their guy friends, and then like women have their thing like separately, and they don't really come together. So they just really don't know like how to approach a woman appropriately. So a lot
wow.
of like Japanese men that I like I'll tell you, this one guy who I was friends with, he was in a band. All of our mutual friends knew that I liked him, and I was trying like so hard to get with this guy.
Like you were throwing yourself.
I
at him
was like
practically?
throwing myself at him basically. And this one time, like we went to this gig in Osaka, and we both live in Tokyo, and I like slept next to him in the bed, and I tried to like go close to him, and he
Right.
was just like, he literally did this. He was like, oh, don't touch me. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. Oh, like please stop. I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Damn. Like,
So
That's-
that explains
Okay.
a lot of anime.
It really
It
does,
does
doesn't it?
explain
It
it.
really
So-
does.
And now
Like,
we
So,
have
so it's like
Like,
down. So it's like when
woo.
it comes down to it, like everything just has to be organized accordingly.
I mean,
It seems like
basically, yeah. I mean, like, seriously, though, like, there are parties where it's like people sign up to go on a group date because that is the only way that they can find a partner because they don't know how to just, like, naturally talk to someone
So
and
it's
like
a
build a relationship is fucking weird.
So
Sexually repressed island.
I mean,
that's
They
that
claim that
very very
that's
sexually
Lord.
repressed. I mean, but so
yeah.
what do you think is the reason behind that? Like where does that come from?
I think there's a lot of reasons. I think it's like just ingrained culturally from the time that you're a kid, if you're a boy. So if you are like a Japanese boy, you're like, okay, I have to like grow up, get a good job, work for this company until I die, basically, and like find a woman to have my children and continue my family. That's it.
Wow, that is
Like
so
that's literally
boring.
it. That's like the
Wow.
dream for like Japanese men, right?
Jeez.
So it's not like, oh, let me like fall in love or like find someone that I like. It's literally like, let me find someone who will have my children, take care of me, and basically like be my mother, so I can like pass on the family
It
line.
almost sounds like
That's
Japanese
it.
men put women on pedestals and they feel like they can't approach them, period, because they're like these otherworldly deities that they're not worthy touching.
It's kind of like that too. It's also that they kind of, it's like sex is not something that is like fun and you enjoy unless you're like going to a soap land or like hiring a prostitute or something like that, you know?
That is so weird.
It is totally fucking weird, but that's just how it is. And that's why like sex work over there is so big, because they're just like, okay, I don't want to have sex with my wife for fun. I want to have sex with my wife to make
I
children.
can't believe I just even heard that.
Yeah, like
What?
it is true. I'm sorry, but it's true. That was my experience.
Okay, so basically,
So-
all of us could go over there and get almost any woman in Japan we wanted, basically by showing up. Almost.
I mean, kind of. I don't
Goddamn.
want to say that because that is like really bad.
It is bad, but I'm just saying.
But it is possible.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
so.
So strange.
That is so super strange.
Yeah.
And but that does explain the massively declining birth rates in
Oh,
Japan.
yeah.
And it also explains why, for the Japanese male, money is a very important thing.
Oh my goodness, this guy. See, everything leads back to that. Everything always leads back to that. All
I
right.
mean, yeah, because I mean, I've heard stories, especially like people who like really get up into like business jobs and stuff like that. It's like once they get fired, like their life is over, dude.
Oh, yeah, pretty
Like-
much. Pretty much.
Okay. All right. So I think we've asked. Anybody else got any other questions?
I think the chat probably has a lot of
Yes.
stuff.
Okay.
they
So
would like
now
to
it's
know. So we can
now it's
power.
AMA time.
All right.
Power is yours to the chat. Ask away anything you want to say
Within reason.
within reason.
One of the first questions I saw up there is from the Hand of Omega. He wanted to see your Yakuza tattoo.
Okay. I'm not sure how to like position myself so you can see it in the camera. but-
Did you get those over in Japan?
Yeah, so this is actually, it is basically a Yakuza tattoo. So the guy who did my tattoo, he did it like traditional Japanese style. So it's like a long wooden stick with some needles at the end, and he just like stab you. with it.
Right.
Ouch.
He's like a 70-year-old guy who's doing like Yakuza bodysuits out of his apartment.
Wow.
So
Wait a
yeah,
minute.
Wow.
it
So,
literally is a Yakuza
so
tattoo.
you basically went to the guy that from an opening scene of Ninja Assassin. He was just there working on that tattoo, filling it in.
I mean,
Okay,
yes.
that's cool.
But also,
That's
I will say with that added, so I had to wait until I was leaving Japan to get this tattoo because like they
The
see a tattoo
actual-
they're like,
yeah.
okay, you're a criminal. So
Yeah, the actual Yakuza be like, hey, wait, hold
yeah,
on.
they
hold
were
on.
like, who
Wait
the
a
fuck? What?
Who let her in?
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
so-
You know.
Just,
I have been hearing about that. One of
so
the
you
things of the
know.
tattoos is like you can't go to certain places that
you
like
can't.
even if it's an American style tattoo,
Doesn't
they don't
matter.
even want to see it. They
Yeah.
It's an old school stereotype.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, from back in the day, way back in the day when all of us, before any of us were born, a tattoo meant you were like you said, a criminal or a sailor, usually.
Yeah.
yeah,
That was,
even
that
over
was,
here.
yeah,
it was,
yeah. I'm just saying, way back then.
Yeah.
I saw. Oh yeah, Wolverine Solid X. How was the arcades? Was the arcades dope? Now, that's an interesting question because arcades over here fell off back in
They
what
basically
2005 ish. That was kind of the last of it. So
Yeah.
you were there in 2016.
I mean, like, arcades in Japan are never gonna fucking die. That's, like, what people do, especially young people. Like, they either go to karaoke or they go to the arcades. So,
That
yeah,
They were
gives
saying
me hope.
COVID was kind of happening.
everywhere.
That kind of gives me hope. Yeah. Okay.
because the Sega's what you call it one.
Sega World.
Sega
Sega World went out.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sega World closed down
It
in
closed
Japan.
it down.
Yeah.
Because of COVID.
Yeah.
You know, what you
Well,
call it?
They sold it.
That
Basically.
makes sense.
Yeah.
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 But pre-COVID, that was like the thing to do.
He is
Yeah.
gonna
Other
keep,
than karaoke.
he's gonna keep asking this question.
Yes, he is.
What
Did she
question?
stay in the Capsule Hotel? I think she stayed at her own apartment, but go right ahead.
Oh no, but I did stay in like several capsule hotels.
Oh, you
Okay.
did?
For sure. Yeah.
What was that
and
like?
so capsule hotels are literally like you feel like you're a fucking like cyborg in a chamber. It's like as big as your body, and it's like that's it. Like
So-
you just lay in there, and
so
there's like
it's-
a curtain that so other people can't see you.
So
You're
it's
just
the
like,
fifth element.
You know,
Transport. plane part.
basically.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
That's exactly how it feels.
that's kind of
Okay.
creepy.
Yeah.
Okay.
How
I
much
would
did that
just
cost?
Like to add, like capsule hotels are not even the coolest thing. Love hotels are
Oh.
like where it's at.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry to keep bringing
So
that up, but
now-
anyways,
now we're talking about Wolverine 2 with the love hotels and the themed rooms and stuff.
That was so weird. I have to tell you.
Hey.
That whole scene was.
I ain't gonna lie. If I go over there, I'm staying in myself in a find an interesting love hotel to stay in.
I bet you
I
would.
mean,
think
they're
it'd be
very
fun.
easy to
I bet you
find,
would.
and they're very fun.
Yeah. See, there you go. Fun.
I think
All
we
the-
should
all
do
the-
that.
Wow.
Sweets.
Okay, so there's. Wow.
Do
All
it.
right. All right. So, two questions.
Okay.
Both of them are sport related. Marcus A64 is asking, is there a sport the Japanese are fanatical?
Yes, believe it or not, fucking baseball.
Baseball.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew
Love
it.
baseball.
That was
Yeah.
That was the first thing I thought about.
You think America's pastime is baseball? No. It's
Yeah.
Asia's pastime.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
Like all of my students were just like, "What do you want to do? I want to play baseball."
Yeah,
Like,
coaching
okay.
is like a huge thing for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. I didn't tell you the story when I was over there. We were on the train. Mind you, we never rode the trains at high time, so I never got squished because it was like middle of the day. People already at work.
Yeah.
Right? But we were over in the train, and I see this dude. I just happened to see him. He's playing a baseball game on his phone, and he was playing like with the Detroit Tigers, and I was like, oh, in my broken time, I was like, dude, I'm from Detroit, and he's like, okay. Just kind of like went back to his
Yeah,
game.
that
Wow.
is very Japanese. Just like,
He's like, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, and then-
anyways.
That's crazy.
I love it. All right.
hilarious.
And the other question was, because City 75 is asking, how did they feel when Kobe Bryant passed away?
I don't remember seeing
I didn't think
any
there would be
news
much of a
about
reaction.
it. To be
I didn't think there would
honest.
be much of a
There
reaction.
was
I didn't.
nothing that I
Right.
saw.
Yeah, that was what, last
No.
January?
Yes, it was last January. So the only two countries that really felt like that about Kobe dying was America and probably China.
What about Italy?
Yeah, Italy is where he
But
played.
Italy too. Italy. Well, that's where he was born. I mean, that's where he was raised.
Yeah.
But no, China, because China is huge in basketball. Like
Yeah.
China loves basketball. Not only just because of Yao Ming, but Stephon Marbury too.
And Nike.
And Nike. But I'm just saying, like, they probably felt it. Japan, not quite as much.
Yeah.
When Rui Hachimura got drafted, that was a huge thing probably for them over there. Naomi Osaka too is probably also a
don't
thing
know
too.
any of these
Well,
people you
Naomi
mentioned.
Naomi Osaka
You don't know
is
Naomi Osaka?
yeah,
I
Naomi
don't
Osaka
watch
is
sports.
like
She's a tennis
she's
player.
essentially almost, I won't say she's the next Serena Williams because she's got a long way to go to that, but she's like the queen of tennis right now.
Yeah,
in a
she's
way.
one of
She
the top.
beat
She's
Serena.
one. Yeah,
She did,
Yeah,
yeah.
she beats Serena. She's like the queen
Twice,
of tennis
I
right
think,
now.
but
Yeah,
anyway.
she did. She's the queen of tennis, and then Rui Hachimura was born in Japan. He's a Hafu, who is just like Hafu's over there like treated.
Yeah.
Kinda.
I hear not
Kinda
pretty
terrible.
good because
They're
that's the
treated
next
terribly.
question right
Yeah.
there. Is there's a lot of mixed Japanese
Japanese
black
black
people over there.
So, I mean, depends on your definition of a lot. Like, they definitely exist, of course, but they're just not, like, they're not considered Japanese. Even if they're, like, born in Japan, only speak Japanese. If they are mixed, they're just like, no, you're not one of us, basically.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like, I remember
Yeah, I've heard that.
Cold-blooded.
Yeah, I saw that a lot, which was really, really sad. There was this one kid who was, what were they mixed with? I think they were like half Brazilian, but they were, again, born in Japan, don't speak Portuguese, like only Japanese, and the kids were just kind of like whatever towards them.
Yeah, I've actually heard that happen with like kids that's like, just not only just half Asian and half something else, but like if they're like, if one parent is from China or one parent is from Korea and one's Japan, like they get treated that way too, which is kind of nuts. And it's like, wow, dude.
It's pretty mind blowing, to be honest. And I hate to say this, but it's almost like even worse if one of the parents is like Korean or Chinese. Like obviously there's a lot of history there, and Japanese people still like to this day just have this hold fucking like extreme grudges against Koreans and Chinese, which is really fucked up. But
that's why I thought it was weird that they had a Chinese restaurant where you were at.
Well, a lot of people like different types of food.
I mean, it's just food, but if
Yeah.
it was like an actual Chinese person who was running it, then they might be like, what the fuck? But
they allow some things when it's on their own terms, but like overall, like they'll treat that shit like the plague.
Now, here's double questions. One wants to know about the American. It's a Hannibal Omega. American music was it played? What Japanese music was your favorite? And to double that up with what American culture do they accept? I also want to add on to that one real quick because I saw a small YouTube documentary and it was about I don't know what they called them, but it was a bunch of kids. I wouldn't say kids. A lot of them probably like in their early 20s or what have you, but they all adopted black culture. They go and get tan, get their hair changed to where it's like, you know, like black people's hair, of course, listen to everything that apparently is, you know, what they perceive as, you know, black music, whatnot. But so...
Sorry, that just made me think of another story. But
go ahead.
Please share.
Okay, so this one time I was at the fucking gym lifting weights and I was listening to music, and like at the time I didn't really listen to rap. Like I mostly listened to heavy metal, right? Mm-hmm. So this guy comes up to me and he just starts yelling, black music," and I was like,
"Wait, what, buddy?
What? Like, you know." And he was like, black music. And then he shows me like his phone. And he's like, Beyonce, Angie Stone, like just starts like scrolling through like all these artists that he was listening to. And I was like, okay, great.
He assumed that you basically were into it.
That's what I was listening to. And I was like, dude, I'm fucking listening to death metal. Like, and I'm trying to lift weights in peace. Like, get the fuck out of my face. You know?
Away from me.
So it's like
you just ruined his. That was his chance.
That was like,
trying.
Yeah, okay, but like for fuck's sake, like I can guarantee you that is like the first and last time that guy is ever gonna see a black person. So he was like, "This is my chance to like talk about black culture," and I was just like, "Dude, if you don't fucking leave me alone right now."
No, that's fair.
So
word to all the guys out there: don't mess with any woman when she's working out, because that's the worst possible time.
Please.
Yeah.
I mean, not anyone really. I mean,
anyone.
Trying to focus.
Like, god damn.
All right, but no. So as far as like your favorite types of music, Japanese music, what were you listening to the most?
I mean, mostly like Japanese metal, like X-Japan or like
X-Japan.
Because that's the one like everyone knows.
Yeah.
Or like Sabat, which is like an old school Japanese black metal band.
You ain't getting in that baby metal.
Fuck no. Oh my god. You know what is like so funny? That's like such a joke to like Japanese metalheads.
Yeah.
Like if you say that, they just be like, you fucking poser.
It's
like
pop-
that's the only
it's
thing
pop
that you
music.
know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But mostly Japanese metal is what I listen to.
All right. So as far so
Culture. Oh my
yeah.
God.
So as far as the American culture that they kind of. There's been some talk about, you know, obviously them appropriating black culture in Japan heavily, but also not really liking black people, which is that's a whole another story. But I'm sure you saw a lot of that. What was the most prevalent thing that you saw as far as like American culture goes? Like, would it be like black music, like Beyonce,
I
Usher?
mean, definitely black music, and then like food, like trying to make not like black food, but like American food.
Okay, what was the most American food that you saw in Japan that you tried?
It was like hamburgers and pizza. Like that's what they think is American food. That's like
No hot dogs.
What about tacos?
I mean, they had tacos, but they're like, oh, that's not American. That's Mexican.
Okay.
So they're very much like, and even actually with pizza, they're like, oh, is that really American? Like maybe it's Italian.
Nah.
So it was more like, oh, you're American? Like, let me take you to a hamburger restaurant, basically.
Yeah,
Right.
the go-to burgers and
Because they
fries,
assume that's
man.
all you ever eat over there. Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I remember this one time, literally, I was, like, in a taxi, and I was asking the dude, like, what's around to eat? Because I was in a countryside. And he's like, oh, well, there's a curry restaurant, but you're American, so you don't like curry. So I was like, dude, I love curry. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
on.
Like,
Like,
there's no
sir.
hamburger places around. I was
damn.
like,
That's funny.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's kind of
Curry is
cold.
delicious.
All right, so real quick, what was your all-time best, most memorable experience while you were there?
I gotta think about that. Like, I feel like my memorable experience is like not really appropriate, but
It's late night. People
I
can hear
mean-
it.
I mean, come on with it.
We'll just cut it out of the YouTube.
Okay, I won't tell that one, but
Oh, no. See, you can't do that. You gonna hype us up and then say, I'm not gonna tell that story.
I mean,
I
like,
want to hear it.
that's really
Yes.
okay. So, I met this Japanese guy who was a submissive guy,
Oh boy.
and
It's
he,
real juicy.
very
I
good.
mean,
Yeah,
like,
it's about to be real good
I
now.
tried to like avoid
no, that's
this story,
fine.
but
This
you
is
guys
real
made
good.
me say it.
No,
So
this is gonna be real good.
here we
That's
go.
fine. This might end up on the Patreon.
Indeed.
Just saying.
Indeed.
So this guy had like an extreme toilet fetish,
Oh,
and he was like, "I want to take you to a love hotel. Can you please pee on me?" And I was like, "If you pay me, sure." So he did. He was like, "How much?" So
there you go.
that was
All right, there you go.
a memorable experience.
That would be that right there would probably be the most memorable thing ever. Hey,
Well, good night, everybody.
All right.
I told you. I tried to give you a warning,
I
but
had no problems.
that was definitely
I don't
a
have any
memorable
problems either.
experience. I was like, okay, sure.
There you go. And to,
God,
and to the viewing, to the viewing
I'm
audience,
sorry,
you are
y'all,
welcome.
but like,
This is an adult program out there,
Exactly.
so what have you?
Exactly.
so
The
let
viewing
me
audience,
just
you're
say, if you're a woman and you want to go to Japan, like, you can make some money in the sex work industry
welcome. Wow.
by like not even having sex though. So
Oh,
there you go.
shit,
Anyways,
man.
that was
Yo, that was,
I find it funny.
man.
I
Yeah,
find
that
it
was hilarious.
We gotta have story time again.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
You gotta have big time story
Shit,
time.
That was good. Okay, so I'm gonna try and bring it back to some normalcy.
okay. Yeah.
So King Takima asked this, and so I gotta ask it. He asked, was ramen worth the trip over there?
Yes. So to be honest, I never liked ramen before I went to Japan.
Really?
Yeah, because all the ramen like that I've had in the
Maruchan
US
ramen
was
is all
like
cheap and shit, you know?
well,
Yeah.
I
Gross, but
get it.
Salty as hell.
It's salty
you
as
know.
hell. Yeah.
I get it.
Okay.
But
All
like
right.
the ramen in Japan is literally worth like traveling around the country just to try like the regional styles.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it really is fucking good. And
Okay.
it's so cheap is a thing. Like when you buy ramen here and it's like expensive, like $10, like
Yeah,
no,
it's like,
dude,
why
like
is it
ramen
so
is like
expensive?
the fucking cheap, like shitty food of Japan.
That's the
Okay,
shitty
okay,
food of
hold on,
Japan.
hold on,
It's
hold
like
on.
a cuisine.
Yes.
Since we didn't get it, and we only got a couple little bit of minutes left, but
Yeah.
let's okay, I hate to do it, but comparison, because obviously now you're back and you've been to some
Yeah.
ramen places here. How bad are they by comparison?
They're trash. I'm
Wow.
sorry. Like I have yet to find like a good ramen place.
Have you been to
since I've been
Matsuchan?
back.
Matsuchan is actually run by Japanese. It's in Canton.
What's it called? Matsuchan?
Matsuchan.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
take you there.
We'll go. We'll
I mean,
go.
let's
There's,
go because like
There's a place in Ann Arbor too. That's I
We don't
forget.
have to go that far.
Oh no, I'm just saying there's a place in Ann Arbor too. And there's also did you go to Urban Ramen, which is on Woodward?
haven't yet.
Yeah,
That
go
is
to
like
Urban
one that
Ramen.
I've
Yeah.
heard is good, but
Yeah, I've heard that was.
They got another one downtown Detroit. What the heck's the name of it? Johnny. Is it Johnny?
oh, Johnny
Rockets?
Noodle King.
No, that's
Johnny
oh.
Noodle King.
Cause
I didn't
City-
think Johnny
That's
Noodle King
City
was
of
that good.
75.
That's
Give him. We
Sorry.
got a nice sound effect for my man. Because
No,
that's a
because
good
the sound effects aren't working for some reason.
What?
I didn't do it.
Oh.
Hey,
Okay.
you're set up.
Oh no.
But City of 75, congratulations on purchasing your first
is
house.
he is now a
moving
homeowner.
on
Congratulations.
Congratulations to my man.
Yes.
That's big ups.
sir.
Big ups. That is.
Hold on,
big
he's
ups.
in Florida, though, right?
Well, the houses
he
down
is.
there, are they
Yes,
cheap?
he is.
Ooh. That ain't even about the sheep. It's about that weather.
Oh, yeah.
Human.
Stay away from the hurricane coast.
Right. No tsunamis. Right. Did you?
I
have
did
to
not
do it?
experience
What
it.
about
Okay.
earthquakes?
Earthquakes, like, yes, all the time. But they're usually just, like, small tremors. Like, when you're walking down the street, you just, like, feel the ground shaking. It's over in, like, 2
Okay.
seconds.
The city is in
Not
Orlando.
Well,
now
we'll
we
see.
know where to
Hey,
go.
we'll see.
Now we know where to go.
Now we know where to go. We were going to Orlando anyway.
No, I'm
where
saying
do you think
we know
Disney
whose house
World
we're gonna go
is?
to. No, you know whose house we're gonna be.
Staying at your
We're going
house.
to be staying at his house. We're free.
Absolutely,
Inviting ourselves.
positively not.
No,
I'm
dude,
staying-
we've entertained him for all this time, and he can't.
I'm
he can't give us.
staying. I'm staying in a villa when I go to Florida. That's
All
how
right,
that. That's how that
so
goes.
last question before we bring the cameras up.
Okay.
Marcus A64 asked this: how big is Super Sentai and wrestling over there?
Interesting.
Not very.
No.
From
Not
response, not
really.
very.
Not in my experience,
Okay.
and that may just be like the people that I was hanging out with that I just wasn't exposed to it. But
Okay.
it didn't seem like it was that popular,
Okay.
That's fair.
to be
All right,
honest.
that's fair. All right.
Sorry.
No, that's cool. All right, so cameras up, everybody. So we're gonna get ready to end the show. It's 10:00.
Ooh.
First thing I want to say, Randiah, thank you. It has been an absolute blast.
Thank you so
having you in
much.
studio. I almost feel like we haven't even scratched the surface of
course
I
not. That's
mean,
why she
there's
talked about.
like so much more to
so
say,
much
but
more
that's
to talk
like
about. So you absolutely need to come back.
I mean,
Talk
I'm
about some of
down
your experiences in
anytime.
Japan, even as just an occasional panelist in studio. Just kind of talk about various stuff, experience in Japan, even other stuff that you're just really interested in. Speaking of that, one thing we didn't get to talk about is you were a travel writer.
Yeah.
So
Gonna have to do a part 2.
yeah, we're gonna have to do a part 2. We're gonna have to talk about that. But if people wanted to hook up with you, if you got socials or anything like that, where could they find you?
So I'm not really on social media, but you can check my website, which is randiahcamillegreen.com.
Link in the chat, please.
Link
Dado.
in
Yeah.
Link in the chat, please, Dado.
Please
Thank you very
spell
much.
it right.
Yeah.
Of course. Come on now.
You would hope. You would hope.
Right. So no, everybody seemed to really love you being in studio. Maze was
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Please come back. Time went way too fast. Hannah Omega's, is she going back? No, Trump is out of office. She's here to stay.
It's safe, so I'm good.
Trump is out of
I'm good
office.
to
She's here to
stay.
stay.
Yeah.
She is here to
We'll
stay.
see in 4 years what happens, but
Right.
for now
So-
I'm good.
He's like, got that passport ready.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So next week's episode of Culture Junkies Live, we're going to be talking about the geek reopening. So literally, the pandemic is over. The movie theaters are getting ready to open up. AMC has already seen that huge boom last night. Overnight, got jumped $20 just about in shares. So I'm very much my portfolio is happy about that. But we're going to talk about all the geek stuff that's getting ready to come back into our lives now that the pandemic is over. Make sure you join us at next week, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. We also want to give a special shout out to our monthly executive producer, Supreme Graphics. Thank you very much for your support. Appreciate you. GQ.
Well, and I also want to give a special shout out to Fab Nerd Life, DeMarcus Smith, NetNet, and the Iguana Man, Culture Junkies Level patrons. Appreciate you guys giving us money because it's awesome. But if you would like to support a Culture Junkie for as little as $1 a month,
$1.
not even $1 a day, like greedy charities out there, because money is important. You can support a Culture Junkie. We love all the support either way it comes in, likes, loves, shares, comments, and all that other good stuff. And on top of all of that, there's some new tiers on the Patreon.
There are.
So go over to patreon.com/culturejunkies. Check those out. There are some limited producer level, and since it's the end of the month, that executive producer spot's going to
It's
be open
opening
pretty
up.
soon. So just check it out.
Indeed.
Back to Kenshiro.
Thank you very much. Dido, you also wanted to talk about our merch, didn't you?
Hey guys, I know you want it. You want it so bad.
Oh my God. He sounds Please get through it. Go ahead.
Culture Junkies merch. That's culturejunkies.net/merch, where you can buy some fabulous t-shirts out there, like the one that I'm wearing, like the one that Kenshiro has on,
Yes.
and many, many others and more to come. Appreciate all you guys out there that have bought some, and hope more of you do so in the future, because I know you want it.
last but not least, if you haven't been enjoying our streams and you would like to consider becoming a sponsor of the channel, I think next week is our first show of June, is it not?
Yeah.
That'll be our giveaway for the sponsors. So if you want to get on board, you better hit between now and then. You better hit that sponsor button. It's only $5. Use your Amazon Prime for that. Randiah, thank you again for coming in.
You mean subscribers, not sponsors.
Well, subscribers, that's what I meant. Yeah, subscribers, that's what I meant. Right. But Randiah, thank you for coming in again. We'll have to do this one more time. So thank you very much. For my friends, Fallen Marvel, GQ, and the Great Dada Kuji, I'm Kashira. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great one, all of you. Peace out.
Good night, all.
Bye.
Stay funky. Fresh.
Dido's smooth, terrifying voice.
It's very smooth and terrifying.
Cassidy
I can get even more terrifying if you like.
Can I guest host? Well, Cassidy 75 wants to guest host. What would you bring to the table? Like,
yeah,
I mean, you want to be a guest host? Like,
guest host is not easy.
Yeah, it really ain't.
Most definitely not easy.
You can be a guest panelist. You can't be a guest host.
We'll see what we can do.
But you know what? Maybe he needs to consider being one of them
executive level patrons.
Executive level Patreon to get you a guest host spot.
Yeah.
Here, Culture Junkies Live.
Yep. Do your
Don't
thing.
forget it.
Do your thing.
Gonna do epic movie guy in a world.
Good night.
In
a world.
Right, exactly.
In a world where people come here
he might consider
and watch various movies.
Looks like he's considering it.
Sweet.
Bye, y'all.